Hey, what's up, everybody? Dan Tortora here with you with a Marywood Giving Day special, and we are live inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Of course, I'm donning the proper gear for today, as I'm very excited about this opportunity to share with you a very special moment, a Jerry Lewis telethon type of feel, but my own way. So this is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And things off with Jen Carleton, who's going to be joining us here on the live feed for the women's basketball team. So we're looking to have Jen come on with us here right now, and let's see if we got it. There she is. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. So Jen, tell me about Marywood Giving Day. Why is it important, and why should they give to the women's basketball program?
Well, we're looking to enhance our program just like everyone else. We're trying to go on some trips maybe next year or the year after. And I'd really like to give this opportunity to our players and to our athletes to just experience something, a place that they haven't been before or a place that they would normally not go. So just to give more opportunities as student athletes, especially at the Division III level, we want them to experience everything that they possibly can. And I think it's really important that we give them those resources to do that.
So let everybody know how they can connect with Marywood women's basketball, how they can give back.
We have links. Yeah, we have Instagram. Our Instagram link has the bio right in it. Okay. So just click on that. You can make your donation or your gift that way. What we're trying to do is raise about $1,500 today. And for every 300 that we raise, we're going to give a scholarship to camp. For this summer for a kid that might not be able to make it otherwise. So we're excited about giving back to the community as well, and we're hoping that we can have your help as well.
Yeah, and I'm excited all throughout the show today on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios from 9 to 11 a.m., maybe a little bit after. We're going to be doing everything we can to help out Marywood University and especially these athletic programs that mean so much to me. Jen, I appreciate all that you're doing. For you, Division III, just to give a note about this, why it's so imperative too at the D3 level to give back and to do what we can, and to remember that these women didn't get to have obviously a season, nor did they get to have a postseason. So how important it is moving forward.
Yeah, it's just, the fact that we didn't have our season this year just makes it more important for next year for us to really just make the experience that much better and that much more meaningful for them. Feel awful for our seniors this year, but really hoping we're still going to have a senior day. We're still going to send them off the right way, but really just want to enhance the whole experience for everyone for next year.
That coming from Jen Carleton. So you'll be able to see the links at Marywood WBB for at Marywood Women's Basketball to get all the information. Jen, I will do my best to share everything on here as well, but I appreciate you so very much, and I thank you so much for being a part of this today, and hoping nothing but the best for the Marywood women's basketball program. As always, 1,500 is the goal. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you. So that coming from Jen Carleton as we look to get Dexter Shy on the show here. Let's see if we could bring him on here and get him all set and ready to go. I want to thank everybody that's watching right now. We're looking to get ourselves added here on. There he is. So what's up, Dex? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. So tell me why. What was it about Marywood that brought you to Marywood in the first place?
Yeah, definitely the programs of study, just the course offerings, and just the smaller community. I came from a big high school, and it was kind of overwhelming. Just wanted to be at a smaller campus and get that, sense of individualized learning and being able to make sure that, what I'm doing is going to allow me to reach my end goal, just career-wise.
And for you, what do you feel like Marywood gave to you? Like you said, the reasons why you went. Do you feel like you got a lot out of it?
Yeah. First and foremost, I got a family leaving Marywood. All my teammates, I got the chance to play with a lot of great guys, and I was there from 2015, transferred in. So just from that point, I got a family of teammates and a community, but I also got the chance to have a lot of great internships and meet a lot of great faculty and staff. Dr. Leah in the diversity department, Obviously everyone in the athletic department, but also some of the nutrition folks. Also big shout out to Coach Chris DeFallo. He was a coach there at Marywood when I spent my time there, and someone that I still consider to be very close on my end.
Yeah, and to have that, amazing experience and connection, and shout out to Chris DeFallo. I know that he's obviously very important, and he's somebody that I appreciate and respect. And for everybody that's watching us on Instagram Live at wakeupcall_DT, you can also be watching .com/live-now-DT, on youtube.com/wakeupcall-DT, listening on wakeupcalldt.com, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcall-DT. So 5 places to listen and or watch Marywood Giving Day 2021 as we simulcast this all over the world, internet streaming, video, and radio. So Dex, for you, I mean, like you said, you brought up Chris DeFallo, the coaching staff having a family when you left. I went to Marywood, obviously, as well. And it is about that. It's about finding that family, that forever family. And you got that at Marywood. So why is it important to donate to the current team and to continue to give back to this forever family?
Yeah, so donating for Marywood Giving Day, specifically for men's basketball, is super important just because of fundraising. We need to be able to, sponsor guys for gear, make sure that they have travel means to get to where they need to be. Also taking trips. I know Coach Enrico has been very, very big on going on trips with guys, getting them, different experiences that they might not have had prior to coming to school. And Marywood Giving Day is a big part of that as well.
Marywood Giving Day today, and the links are out there at Marywood basketball, so at Marywood at Marywood MBB. So Dex, for you, favorite memories? Do you have anything that really just this day is still with you?
So I can still hear you. I was breaking up a little bit on my end, but it seemed like you were just asking, favorite experience, favorite memory. Is that right?
Yeah, favorite memory. Yeah.
Okay. So for everybody who, all my teammates that played with us, and we had Coach Piccarello. He was a good friend of ours, and just messing with him on trips and traveling with the team. We also got to do some volunteer opportunities and feeding the homeless around Scranton, and we did a couple of those projects. And then in my tenure, Coach Enrico bought a new house, so we did a lot of bonding with each other, gutting that and helping him get some of that stuff squared away. So really, for me, it's a lot more of the off the court memories, just being around the guys, hanging around the guys, and just being on campus that I really think were my fondest memories for sure.
And playing wise, being able to expand and play in college at the D3 level, I think it's between getting in the weight room and watching film and going to practice and playing games and going to school and all that it's a different life for a D1 athlete, and just why more respect should be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So time is time. The time you put in and the effort you put in the weight room, even the pool work that we were doing, all of that is time that is dedicated while still being a full-time student athlete and expected to, achieve academically while, putting that effort in. It definitely is something where I think, Division I, they get the scholarships and they get all the money and all the gear and things, which is great. But definitely don't forget about us down here at D3, just because basketball is basketball. There's only 3 levels. There's JUCO. You can add that in there too. So any level that you're able to play at, just in general after high school, it's a big deal. And it's a commitment, and you worked really hard to get to that point. So definitely don't want to take away from that as a basketball player.
Yeah, and we have so many messages flooding in today, and I want to give everybody, all the thanks here that has joined us and joined this feed and joined everything that we're doing. Dex, when Enrico, reached out to you and said that, he would love for you to be a part of it, what can you say about your relationship with Enrico Mastroianni and, what he's doing with the basketball program?
Yeah. Coach reached out to, probably about 10 of us, all in a group chat, and immediately we all started flooding in and giving them support and picking time blocks so we could help out and do this. A lot of us have graduated. We're, working full-time jobs and we're doing things. And that should just show the priority that we have for Marywood men's basketball, and making sure that on our end, any little bit that we can do to help is something that we have to do, because, again, we're talking about, a small school system where, the funding isn't always, flowing in, just to say the least. But my relationship with Coach, I have a funny story that, kind of day one, first day of practice, me and him got into it, right? Day one. And he's in my face. We're going back and forth. And I think that honestly strengthened our bond exponentially. It was two passionate people going at it in terms of, hey, this is what I think. This is what I see. This is important for us. And I just think that we both had a level of respect for one another after that moment. Because we knew that we were just two guys that wanted to win, and we wanted to find a way to win and get the best out of, the guys on the floor, the coaches, really the whole athletic department, and everything that we can out of the university. So I've been gone for a few years now, and I still talk to Coach probably more than anybody wants to know. But it's all good.
Yeah, and having that connection with Coach, and the connection to this program, it is imperative, again, for Marywood Giving Day 2021, that we give back to Marywood. And Dex talking about giving back to the Marywood men's basketball program. Coach was talking about different things to do. I mean, travel expenses, the black jerseys that a ton of guys like wearing and whatnot. Just the fact that, people don't know that, like, every little bit, every dollar, every penny, everything helps towards something. Just, to really drive it home for you. I mean, you want to look good in the jerseys. You want to have nice warm-ups. You want to be able to travel nice. So, just what you could say about that, because, some people might think these are given to you, and that's not always the case.
Yeah, so something that a lot of people don't know is that at the D3 level, there's a financial contribution that comes from the players. Sometimes it's more to finance these things, and we're only getting so much help. And the very old but good adage is, like, you look good, you feel good, you play good. And so that's a big part of it, is what you're able to wear, what you're able to put on, and really represent that Marywood University culture, and that underdog mentality that a lot of us carry with us. So really any donations, anything that anyone's able to give is huge for us, because it's a little bit less work that you have to do. Like, I know a lot of guys that work part-time jobs while trying to play basketball and trying to do certain things. And, you're telling me you got to go to class full-time, 15 credits. You're also going to basketball full-time, traveling. You're also trying to make, $50 to $100 a week just doing something part-time. We have a big enough alumni group that can help out with some of that. And if it's something that we can do, and we can just talk about on Instagram and all the mediums that you have, it's super important for us. And it's something that, I really want to make sure that I nail home and drill home on my end.
Yeah, and I think it's critical because, again, I mean, you guys you're not getting a scholarship to play. So you're paying to play. Like you said, you're putting all of this in, and you want to make sure that, you guys are kids, and that the burden of all of this, that you can play freely and go out there and you need to do. So the more the community gets around you, the more the community helps, the better off we will all be. And I thank you so much for your perspective, for your thoughts, and I hope nothing best for you as you move forward. Speaking here with Dexter Shy, and appreciate you spending some minutes with us, Dex, and I really do appreciate you reaching out and seeing where that reach takes you.
No. Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I really appreciate participating. I will have this on while I'm going through the rest of my workday, so definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing from some of the other guys coming after.
Take care. So Dex.
All right, thank you.
Take care. So Dex coming up here, and we'll be bringing on small in here. That we're bringing in Tim Smallwood right now. See if we can't get him set. There he is. What's up, Tim? How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing very well. So we are live on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, MixLR.com, WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage, and of course we are live here on Instagram. And we are here for Marywood Giving Day. It is a place where, obviously it means the world to me, Marywood University, and I am so honored and privileged to be able to have this time with you. So Tim, what can you tell me about the importance of giving back and just what it means to you?
Giving back to Marywood, it just, means everything to see that school succeed. Since I've left, it has grown so much, and it's a pleasure to see, the things that we didn't have when I was there, to get to see the kids that are there now, the students that are there now, to have the, even better experience than I had.
So, Tim, what were some of the things that, you think are imperative that you can actually, that people can give back to today on Giving Day? What are some of those pieces that you didn't have that you feel that people can help toward in Giving Day?
So your previous guest, he touched on it a bit. Being a Division III athlete, we're not given, all the gear and all the, the thrills as a D1 athlete would have, or even a D2 athlete would have. Most of it comes out of our pocket. And what doesn't come out of our pocket, the school has to, fit the bill. When I was there, it was a pair of sneakers and a travel suit if we were lucky. But so giving to Marywood allows our athletes, not only to have gear, but to be fed while out on a road trip, to, have nice accommodations, when they are taking a trip that's over a night. And not saying that we didn't have those necessarily when I was there, but they just weren't, it could have been much better if we were able to have something like this, to have people giving, helping us out.
And for that, the community, why to you is, and I know you just talked about, it'd be great if you could have more going back and with the community and whatnot and giving back. Why is it, why does every count? Why is it so imperative today to do literally anything that they, $1, $10, $100, anything that they could do for the program?
I think it's just a support from the community, knowing that you guys that we have the community around us, that, we're not just, basketball players at a small Division III school, knowing that they actually care, and every dollar, counts for something, and it means so much to us that, just having their support is why it matters so much.
And for you, Tim, and what did you do? Education wise and being on the court, how did it make you a better player and a better person to come to Marywood?
That's it was tough, because even though we weren't Division I athletes, we were full-time athletes, along with, being full-time students. And obviously, if you didn't make the grades, you weren't playing. So it really forced myself to really manage my time a lot better, and to set my priorities straight. Going to, my coach and saying, hey, I have a paper to do. I'm going to be a little bit late, and just, being, forthcoming to them and letting them know that, I'm here to go to school first and foremost. But it made me a better person, because I was, able to, juggle multiple things at a time, and, learn how to manage my time as well.
And for you, Enrico Mastroianni, since he's stepped into Marywood, he's done everything he could to really build this program up. Tim, what does it mean to you to have Enrico at the helm, and why is it so important to support someone like him and how he's trying to build things?
So I can't say enough great things about what Coach Rico has done for the program. He has, made Marywood, is given a name to Marywood in our area. We're no longer at the, bottom of the league standings anymore. They're constantly, fighting for a conference championship and competing for one. And I've known Coach Rico since my days playing back in, the early 2000s. And I know what he used to do to me because he was he coached for Misericordia, and they used to give me hell. So I can only imagine what he does to the other teams. But he has just built the program up to a level that, a lot of people never thought that Marywood could ever be at. And it's continuing to grow. So I can't say enough, great things about him.
And so this giving day, specifically giving back and doing what you can for this men's basketball program, for you, where do those memories lie? What can you tell me about, maybe some of the fondest memories you have being connected with this team?
I guess some of the fondest memories I have, I reminisce with a couple of my buddies through a group chat, almost every day. So the fondest memories is just to have those friendships right now. But, to look back, obviously beating the university when I was there in overtime at the buzzer, the only time that we've ever beat them. And I'm pretty sure Scranton has refused to play us ever since. And, then making at the time, I think we had one of the best records in school history. Coach Enrico and Coach Grumman, I think, have surpassed that. But at the time, we had set a record, and making the playoffs and being competitive, and making the first real step for Marywood to start being competitive within the league.
Yeah, and to me, it's such an awesome thing to see, like you said, putting Marywood on the map and winning those games and doing what they could do. And like you said, University of Scranton probably not trying to schedule like that. That game that you got with the University of Scranton right down the road, just how imperative it was to have that in history. And hey, you know what? If they never schedule again, you got that 1-0 against them, so that's good for you.
Yes, it was that was definitely one of our best moments while I was there. The previous year, I believe they went to the Scranton. You went to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. Beat up on the younger sibling, as they like to say in Scranton, and then to go into their gym the following year and upset them. It still brings a smile to my face.
Amazing stuff coming from Tim Smallwood here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Football Studios. Tim, any final notes on why you hope people get back to that?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, I said any final notes on why you feel people should give back today?
It's imperative for the to grow not only the school but also the athletic program. We continue to make really good progress and big steps, and it's imperative so that we can continue to make those gains.
Awesome. That coming here from Tim Smallwood. Tim, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and my best to you as you continue. And we will keep in touch with one another. But I thank you for being a part of today, and how incredible it is to see a bunch of these Marywood familiar faces come back. So thank you for what you're doing today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care. So coming up in just coming here, appreciate you being here for a very, very special day that we have. We've had so many people come through the line today. Jim McAndrews, obviously, the biggest. Appreciate you, Blue Jays women's basketball. Mooch, M. Taroni, thank you for coming out here. A lot of great things from Let's Go. Thanks, Dan, from Marywood men's basketball. Coach Carlton, hardest working coach in the business, got that up here too. And then a lot of other great words here. We'll get to them as we go. So thank you to everybody that's on. And we're looking at a guest this morning, and that guest is supposed to be Lawrence Tompkins. So we're supposed to have LT come on here with us. So hopefully we can get LT in the building in just a second, and he can join us here. It would be great to have that opportunity. So again, it's Marywood Giving Day. We're on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live, facebook.com/live-now-DT. We're on Instagram Live right here at wakeupcall_DT. We are on youtube.com/wakeupcallDT. We are on mixlr.com/wakeupcallDT, wakeupcalldt.com. So many ways to get involved. And speaking of getting involved, I implore you to give back where you can and to do what you can to help out the community at Marywood University. So we got to Lawrence. Lawrence, you just got to ask to join. So let's see, go live. I'm going to bring her on right now. Let's see if we can bring Lawrence on with us. What's up, LT? How we doing?
Yeah, man, what's going on? How are you?
You were at and we were experiencing this world together. What can you tell me about your time back there?
Dan, you kind of broke up there right at the start. I didn't quite catch the whole question there.
Yeah, just saying what you took away from your time when you were at Marywood and just.
There.
So just what it means to you, Marywood University, to have been there and to have experienced your time of basketball.
Hey, listen, I was just watching Tim talk. One of the things that came back to my mind when he was talking about that University of Scranton game, I don't think he gave himself enough credit for that half court shot that he hit at the buzzer. That was something that I remember. I think it was just the camaraderie of playing together, the friendships that we made, in particular, my junior season, I think was probably the best season up until that point that the team had ever had. Setting those records, getting on a run, winning a bunch of games, those are things that you look back on, and it was just a part of time in your life where it was just special. And I think that's really the way that I could sum it up.
And for you, I mean, there's so many memories of your time at Marywood University. When you were there, I was doing courtside. We were both in the building together. Fondest memories, personally, anything that sticks out to you of your career and of putting on that jersey?
I think it's just the fact that, being a college athlete, there's only a small number of people just in general who play high school sports who could say that they went on and they were a college athlete in any sport, and that's something that I look back on and I say, I was a college athlete. It doesn't matter if you're, a junior college athlete, Division III, Division II, Division I. I played a college sport for 4 years.
That coming from Lawrence Tompkins here. Lawrence, you didn't have Enrico as your head coach when you were at Marywood, but you have obviously built a relationship with him. What can you say about Enrico Mastroianni and how he's leading this program?
I think he's doing a fantastic job. I know as soon as he got hired, the name was really recognizable. I knew him from when he coached at Misericordia, like Tim was saying before. And I immediately reached out to him and just said, hey, I wish you the best of luck. And if you need anything, let me know. And, we were able to connect when he was setting up that first initial, kind of alumni kickoff banquet that he ran, and he runs yearly. And, he asked me to be the guest speaker. And I think, from that point forward, it was just something where we, continued to stay connected. And, I've tried to do a few things. I've worked a couple of his summer camps. I took my daughter to one of them, and I've been to a few games, as many as I can get to. And I think, he's doing it the right way. And I feel really bad that, they weren't able to have a season this year, because I think, he was trending in that right direction. He's got good players. He's got the type of player, from my understanding, that Marywood needs in order to be successful. So I feel like he's doing a great job in terms of what, the culture at Marywood needs to be and the type of player that they need to have.
Yeah, and obviously that's huge. And we talk about, at the D3 level that you guys, you're not getting a full ride to play there. You're not getting a scholarship to be there. Finding a job, raise money yourself, pay for different things. So just how imperative it is to give back a day like today to Marywood University. at the D3 level, as much as you're doing everything that all the D1 athletes are doing, training and getting ready for everything, a lot of the, monetary stuff is on the school. It's on you guys. So just how important it is to give back to Marywood.
I think one of the things you said is really important to drive home. No matter what level you're at, you treat it like a full-time job. I know when I was there, I would say that we put as much time in probably as athletes do at any level. It was time consuming. There was practices, there was classes, there was weight room sessions, and there was no scholarships though. So there was that commitment, but there wasn't the monetary commitment. So, for example, I can just speak to what our game days look like. If we had to go on a road trip to Philadelphia to play a game, we got a hoagie from a local sub shop, Dan, and that was our meal. We weren't given a full pregame spread of, big time, carbs and vegetables and fruit and drinks 3 hours before the game, like a lot of these big time schools get, maybe at the D2 or the D1 level. So, we had, we had to get by with, $8 a player essentially for our meals. So I think, any money that can be donated to the current student athlete goes to give them a better experience than the players who played last year, or the players who played 10 years ago, or players who played 15 years ago. It's just continuous financial gap.
Yeah, and I think that that's huge to be able to do that, and for and to really, like we talked about, drive home the fact that it is not easy to be a student athlete in general, with going to class and doing everything you have to do on the side of being a successful player in whatever sport you're playing in. But the fact that at the D3 level, it is so much on you, and you're essentially paying to play, so to speak. So giving back wherever and however we can is extremely important. And I know that, you have continued on in your coaching, and you're doing all this. So, I'm sure that Marywood University, playing the game and loving the game, has continued to have a positive effect in your life.
Yeah, sure. It's a love of the game. Anybody who plays a sport plays it because they love it first. And, without the experience at Marywood, I probably wouldn't be the individual who I am today. Playing a college sport teaches you a lot of things, teaches you hard work, teaches you perseverance, teaches you dedication, confirms a lot of your own character traits. It tests a lot of your own character traits. So we have, it just drives home those points. It makes you a better person, forces you to improve. So, those are all things that, that I look back on with fond memories, and I think it's made me, the person who I am today in a lot of ways.
That coming from Lawrence Tompkins. Lawrence, as always, I appreciate it. I look forward to talking with you soon, and thank you for being a part of today, and thank you for being a part of my history out at Marywood as well. I mean, a familiar face for me, and us both being on the screen after all these years shows that Marywood does have a positive effect on people.
Yeah, Dan, listen, I just want to say, everything you're doing is making a bigger impact than anything that any of your guests are doing today. You do a fantastic job consistently getting Marywood alumni, Coach Enrico on your daily programs. This entire program you set up today is just fantastic. So kudos to you, and best of luck the rest of the day with all your guests. So nice job. It's really awesome, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Very kind of you, Lawrence, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you for everything. Take care.
Yes.
So we're looking to have Daron Dickerson, pardon me, join us in just a second here on the broadcast. Looking to set him up and have him be a part of it here for us, and we will look to have him on in just a minute here on our live feed. So hopefully the feed's coming through good for you all today. We're running a bunch of stuff all at the same time: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as MixLR and WakeUpCallDT.com. So we'll be looking to have Daron come onto the show momentarily, and we can actually see if we can bring him in right now and get him on here as we continue this Marywood Giving Day 2021. We have had Jen Carleton from the women's basketball team, the head coach, come on the show. We've had Dexter Shy on, Tim Smallwood, Lawrence Tompkins, and now we're looking to have the man here, Daron Dickerson, and it's coming through a little bit fuzzy, but hopefully we can get it set up and ready to go. Daron, how are we doing today?
Fantastic, man. Doing fantastic. I'm blessed by the best, man. So, and then have an opportunity to hop on here for a few minutes just to share some experiences and talk to and talk to the viewers, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, definitely happy to have you on. But happy to have you here, Daron, and just what you could say about your memories at Marywood University, the things that stuck out to you the most, and just what Marywood has meant to you.
Yeah, man. So Marywood has a huge place in my heart and my life, my history of just kind of everything that I do. From the opportunity to be able to play, a college sport, to becoming an actual student. Before I came to Marywood, I didn't have a huge interest in the academic side of college. I just wanted to play basketball, and Marywood, in so many ways, forced me to become a student athlete. And that was probably the most important part of my time there was transitioning from just being an athlete to being a student athlete. I've met so many great people throughout the years there, and one of those great people happened to be my wife, who I met there as well. And then we got married on campus. We now have 3 beautiful children and a home, and so many memories, right? So, and I attribute that all to Marywood, being able to meet there, being able to kind of, form our union there, and just being able to, kind of grow a family, man. So that's the biggest part. Basketball was great. School was great, meeting a lot of friends and stuff like that. But ultimately, Marywood has that residual effect on me and my family right now.
Yeah, and it's incredible to Daron, for you, I mean, you met your wife there, you got married on campus, you played there, you've come back and you've spoken there, you've motivated people, you've been at, the tip-off dinner. Your connection to Marywood is just through and through and through and through. And when I was there broadcasting from you courtside and creating that show, you were on the court. And I will never, you know what, I'll hold that for a second because there's a special thing I want to say. But to me, you are Marywood. You've been so connected to it. So for you to be here today to ask people to give back, I mean, Marywood gave to you, and now you're asking them to give back to Marywood. I think that's incredible.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. I think I live by the pay it forward model, man. If you can find a way to give back, to show people that you've been blessed and you're willing to bless somebody else, is I think it's a powerful thing, right? And in the world that we live in, the times that we're in, I think it's important for people to understand the power of being able to give back and give people an opportunity when they don't typically have it. I listened to 2 of my teammates, right? So the 2 previous guests happen to be my teammates, phenomenal guys, great friends. I've actually just spoken with them, over the past couple of days as well. And, first of all, they were a tough act to follow, number 1, but number 2, again, Lawrence made a comment about, being a Division III athlete, not being able to get a scholarship, hoping that, that you can stick it out, and that financially between grants and loans and whatever financial stability that your family may have to help you get through school, allows you to kind of get through. And that's challenging, right? But what it does, to Lawrence's point, is it gets you bought in. right? You have so much vested in going there and making it work, right? You have a responsibility to yourself, to your family, to your friends, to go in there and make it work, right? To not go in there and waste your time, waste your money, but you got to get in there and do the work, right? And you have to put in the work, because nothing works but work. And so, again, I think, Tim is a prime example. Lawrence is a prime example. And the rest of the guys that I played with, I can speak for and say we were all prime examples of being able to kind of go in there and do what we had to do to get through and make sure that we enjoyed our experience. So today, when I coach as well. And when there are kids that almost talk down to Division III basketball because they're looking to go Division I or something like that, I'm like, don't underestimate college basketball in general, right? Regardless if it's D3. I've got a really good friend right now that was an All-American D3 player, and I'm pretty sure a lot of D1 players couldn't check him right now, right? So it's opportunities like that, and it's conversations like that, and it's the minds to me. There are small schools out there, such as a Marywood, that can give you everything that you need in life as long as you're willing to go in there and put in the work.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. And your teammate Lawrence said, Daron is the best. I love everything he's doing. Said some nice things about me as well. I appreciate that. He said, time to go back to work. My girl, Miss Haj Mahala, said, solid guest list, back to work I go. Keep up the good work, Dan. A lot of great stuff coming on. Daron, great motivator. A lot of incredible. I don't ever forget when I was starting out MU courtside and broadcasting MU courtside. I'll never forget you coming over to the scores table, and it was just, you're always smiling, always nice, just kind of like tap your hand on the table, but you let me know that you knew that I was there when I didn't know that anybody cared. They know that I was there. So it made me special in that room. And I appreciate that, and I respect that so much. And to this day, because you came over and put your hand on that table, that's why I reach out to you still to today.
Oh man, I appreciate hearing that, man. It's sometimes the littlest things can go the longest ways, right? Like, so again, something as simple as somebody knowing that you notice them. Is a big deal, and so I don't take those things for granted. You mentioned about a smile. You know what? It doesn't cost a thing, right? And it can change the perspective of somebody's day, their minute, their moment with you. And so you never know, right? So I usually do my best, unless it's really just hard to do it, right? But I do my best to smile as much as possible, and I try to make the people that I'm around, just kind of want to be in my presence. I want them to be positive, and I want to be a change. I want to be an example of change each and every day, whenever I can.
That coming from Daron Dickerson. Daron, last thing, final note here. Why should they give back to Marywood? Why should they give to the men's basketball program? What would mean so much to you if people gave back today?
So you know what, man, it's about growth, right? And at the end of the day, if you have any type of tie to Marywood, whether you were a student there, whether you have a family member that went there, whether you've worked there, the opportunity to see growth within that university is so important. And the only way that growth happens is for a contribution, some sort of donation, and to give back and to show the people that are there now, students, the student athletes, the faculty, the university as a whole, show them that everything that they poured into you, into your kids, into your sport or organization, that we're willing to give it back, that we're willing to show them that we have their back as well. They did so much for us. Now we're willing to do the same for them. So I think that's important. Lawrence made a good point about how, at the Division III level, financially there's some challenges, right? You don't get all the type of amenities that some of those Division I, maybe even Division II opportunities have, right? So hey, listen, you know what? Marywood wants to be a big time program, right? And Coach Enrico Coach Carlton, they're taking these kids to that level, right? But they need help. They need help. The reality is they have enough or they're willing to swallow their pride and say, hey, we can't do this by ourselves, right? It takes a village. It takes a village. And you know what? Alumni, people that have been there, that have experienced Marywood, that have seen being able to play in a gym that has a cement wall and not a locker room really, but almost kind of like a bathroom that you're changing in, versus maybe having a locker room now with carpet and names on your cubes and everything like that. It's growth, right? And they didn't get there overnight, right? It takes a village, right? And I think that, the community, everybody that's watching, everybody that has an opportunity to see what we're doing here, if they, any little bit helps, and it'll put the program in a better position going forward.
That coming from Daron Dickerson. Daron, I appreciate you. You and I owe each other an off-the-air call coming up soon, but on the
Absolutely.
air, incredible, awesome, good stuff. That's my guy, so I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. I appreciate you, man. One last thing. I'll echo Lawrence and say what you're doing, Dan, is beyond amazing. You do it so much. You give Marywood that platform to have a voice. You give Coach Enrico and Coach Carlton an opportunity to speak to people that don't necessarily come to them to talk. And your viewers, the network that you have built, you give people an opportunity to hear about the small school Marywood and the awesome things that they're doing. So thank you for what you do. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to give back and trying to do what I can. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, I wear this on my chest proudly, so I want to see Marywood grow and excel, because the more they grow and excel, the better for all of us in this community that love them so very much.
100%. I agree 100%.
All right, man, I'll talk with you soon.
Yes, sir. Take care.
So that's Ron, and we're looking here to have Kendall Farrell joining us in just a second. So let's see if we can bring Kendall on. And let's see, we should be able to have Kendall come on here onto our Instagram live for you to listening, watching all over the place. There's Kendall. How we doing, Kendall? How you doing? What's going on this morning? Let's see.
Nothing much, man. Obviously work and stuff, but I figured it was important to take some time and, support Marywood's Giving Day, support Marywood's men's basketball. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And what can you say about what Marywood has done in your life, what the basketball program has done in your life, and why it was important to you to take a second out of your workday to come on here?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I don't know. I spent 5 years at Marywood. And oftentimes I like to say that a young man, a little boy, and then I left like a fully grown man. Like, I've grown tremendously from being in that environment, playing 4 years on the men's basketball team. And, there's just countless amount of things that I could say that how I've grown from being at Marywood. It's college at the end of the day. And, like, this is the first experience that you have where you're on your own, and there's no parent necessarily saying, oh, you have to get up and go to practice. You have to get up and go lift, or you got to get up and go to class. So you really learn a lot about yourself, and it encourages maturity when you can put yourself in that place and do the right thing.
And like you said, I mean, having that time there and coming out of just, how did that happen? That you feel like you came out better than you went in?
Yeah. So, so can you repeat your question? Because you kind of like.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay now? You got me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just what you can say. What made you go from a boy to a man at Marywood?
Yeah, so one example would definitely be the fact that my freshman year of Marywood, we had one specific coach. His name is Bob Simmons, also known as Robert Simmons. Great year. We're in a place where we're trying to turn the program around. And then, boom, that summer after my freshman year, Rob had a recruiting class coming in, and he decided to take another job, which was, he made the right decision for him and his family. But that's an example of adversity that some of the guys in the program had to deal with. You know, like we love this game and we signed up for this one specific coach, and then ended up inheriting Enrico as a coach, and he did a good job coming in right off the bat, and you know, making the opportunity for guys that may not necessarily have had that opportunity if he didn't step into the position. But there were many occurrences of adversity throughout the years playing basketball at Marywood that, you know, you grow from these situations. There's situations where in the past you made a pout, you may have cried about it, but as you grow, you get older, you get mature, you learn more about yourself. You learn how to handle your emotions and your feelings and the ups and downs of life. On definitely on a more mature level. So I think my experiences at Marywood and through the program have definitely taught me how to deal with adversity and, you know, just things not always going your way.
Yeah, you know, and having a coaching change and going through that adversity, it's something that you prepare for. You real
Kind of. Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just what you could say about the importance of Enrico Mastroianni going through that. How did that experience? Right,
Affected me.
Yeah, you
All
got
right,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, just what you could say about Enrico and why he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely say that Enrico stepped in. You know, he had a group of guys that he didn't necessarily recruit. So, you know, he's dealing with personality that he doesn't know. And I could only imagine the kind of pressure that that puts on a coach. But I will say that, you know, from year one, my sophomore year, his year one, you know, he rallied a group of guys and tried his best to kind of make this group of guys tie together. And as the years went on, we got better. And my senior year, we ended up having one of the best records in Marywood basketball history. And I would say that, you know, it's not easy to turn a program around like that. It's not easy to come into a situation and you got a group of guys that you kind of fell in love with throughout the process. This wasn't a match made in heaven. I will admit that. But I think he did a phenomenal job coming in and taking what he had and making the best of it. And, you know, oftentimes he definitely tried to make opportunities for us where we could experience other things. Like we would go on trips out of Scranton, and we got opportunity to play Division I school, which, you know, oftentimes at a D3 school, you don't get to be on that big stage of Division I. But like I said, man, just from seeing the way he lived his life and the way he coached us and the opportunities he put on the plate for us, the trending word is adversity. You know, like he definitely taught us that it's important to go with the flow and take things for what it is, and then move on. You know.
Yeah, you know, and learning so much. And Kendall, I appreciate, and I know some of you had some, you know, some technical difficulties in this, but Kendall, why give back? Why Marywood? Why was it important for you to do this today?
Well, Marywood is always going to have a special place in my heart, man. Like, as a kid growing up from Brooklyn, New York, I never expected to end up in Scranton, Pennsylvania to begin with. So, you know, I got a chance to experience a different lifestyle. Like, I'm a city kid through and through, but it's important to give back because it gives students like me an opportunity to have the full college experience, you know? And I just think it's important to never forget where you came from, and because that is going to ultimately teach you or lead you to where you're going. So Marywood, the basketball program and the school, I will always have a special place in my heart, and it's important to just carry the totem pole and just make sure that the guys have a better experience now than I did in the past, you know? And my experience was phenomenal. But if we got extra bags or bags we got to keep or nicer jerseys, like nobody's complaining about that. So if there's anything anybody could do to help that process out and make that experience that much better, then I'm all for it.
Coming from Kendall here with us today. Kendall, I appreciate you so very much, and I thank you for taking some time and navigating through this day with us. Marywood Giving Day 2021. Kendall, my best to you. Please stay in touch now that we are in touch. We'd love to continue to tell your story. And I got to say, coming from the BK, that's where my grandma came from. So
That's what's up.
I respect that. So I'll be talking with you soon, okay?
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you, you too. So we, Kendall Farrell coming on with us, and we got Letty coming up here in just a second. Shane will be joining us here on the broadcast. I think we fixed out the kinks. It's live, so we're going to get grainy sometimes. Everybody's using their internet at home. So what's up, Shane? How we doing?
What's going on?
How are you? So, obviously, Marywood Giving Day 2021. Why give back to Marywood? Why give to the program for Marywood men's basketball? Just what you could say about the importance of that to you.
1 second, I'm trying to get stuff right.
There you go. We got you sideways right now.
Oh, sorry. I'm good now?
Yep, you're good.
All right, so first of all, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Just the importance of giving in general, in itself is just a positive reflection of the type of person you are and how you're moving about on earth. But straight to Marywood, I have a direct connection. Obviously, I graduated from there. I played basketball there, and I just know that the things we had decent things when I was there. That was back in 2016. But I know now if you give, like, we had a dinner, we had a nice like formal dinner and all that. But I know now the more you give, they can, even if they had that's an experience. The dinners, the bags, the things that coach took us to that really wasn't in the budget, but he made it happen. It just helps with your experience, you know what I mean? And then on the recruitment, we could tell the players what we had to offer, you know what I mean? Because obviously if you don't want to come anywhere if you don't think they have anything to offer outside of basketball.
Yeah, and for you, like, to be able to do that, like you said, coach at the D3 level, if it wasn't in the budget, still found a way to make it happen. How important is it to not have these coaches reach into, their personal pockets, or have to do, or you guys have to kind of struggle through it and pay for things? Like, how important is it that Marywood, alumni give back, that current students give back, that people, anywhere in the world give back? How important is that?
It's very important, man, because I know that coaching all the guys there, they want to do other things, even though it's Division III. We're automatically given the short end of the stick. So it's just, again, like, it's just really important, especially for alumni. I know for alumni, we've been through it. Even if you don't got it, you know what I mean? Speaking for myself now, like, we're all going through life. I'm 28 years old now. We're all going through life. So just even give anything, $10, $20, anything, man. Like, even if you're not a basketball alumni, just alumni period, you know what I mean? Like, just $5, $10, just that can help one kid, you know what I mean? Get a warm up or something. So,
and that's the thing is, like, we talk about look good, feel good, and all of that. I mean, I remember when I came to Marywood University, there was like almost no apparel sports wise. The logo, there wasn't kind of like an official logo for the teams. Everything looked different. I mean, Marywood has evolved over the years so much. So how is it important today on Marywood Giving Day 2021 to make sure that we keep evolving, that every gift people remember is part of the evolution of this university?
Right. It's very important because, like you said, look good, play good. I definitely believe in that. So if we're the only team in the conference, if we're the only team in the conference, that doesn't have nice things and don't look good, a team going to try to. It's going to be extra. It's going to be. They're going to be more assertive to run over us. And I mean, I play with a dog mentality, so I'm looking for little things like that. So to avoid that for my alumni, we should give back. And also, it's nothing wrong with spreading love. You know what I mean? I got a brand called Spread Love Period that I've been running since 2017, which is kind of inspired by my college experience. So I'm all about giving back, extending the extra hand, giving advice when needed, monetary when can, but it's not always about money. Sometimes just sitting down and talking to people, that could be a way of giving back to the Marywood University. You know what I mean? You might sit down and talk to somebody about your experience, and they might write the check. You might not even have to write the check. So you know what I mean? It's just navigating, like you said, it's just navigating through, and just trying and just help any way you can. So I hope everybody that's on here. I see a couple of my people. I see a couple of my principal on here, my coach. Yeah, but like you said, man, it's just like I'm tied for life. You know what I mean? I got records there. I did a lot there. I think so. You know what I mean? I'll always be in the record book, so they'll always be in my heart. And so I got a lot of love for Marywood.
Yeah, you know, and you have that history and that connection and everything that you have with them. I mean, spreading that love and that honest, you know, your truth, your memories of Marywood. I think that, you know, speaks to the heart so much, and they have such a big place in my eyes. First show I ever created, MU Courtside. It was my first baby, my first kid, so to speak.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, and it will always, you know, tether me to basketball, Marywood men's and women's basketball, to the athletics in general. So, I mean, Shane, I think for people that are watching today, people that will see this back and whatnot, it's about giving back to Marywood however and wherever we can, and doing what we can for guys like yourself and women out there, because y'all deserve to look good and get there safely. And people don't understand too, like, it's about transport. You know, the more money the program has, the better the transport that you guys can kind of like stretch out on the transport. You can relax. You can travel safely. You know, people don't understand. Money goes a long way to safety, health, wellness. It's not just about, you know, give money and don't know where it goes. It goes to so many places that will help to keep the team safe, secure, fed. You know, these are basic needs that we need here at this level. And I just hope that people understand that and know that, you know, they're feeding you, they're helping you, they're giving back to the people that they want to win and they want to see succeed. And, you know, it doesn't take much to buy somebody a meal. And I feel like people should remember that.
Yep. And I totally agree with that, man. I totally agree with that. You nailed it.
That coming from Shane today. Listen, I appreciate you so much. And I thank you. I'm happy that we got to connect on here. You and I will connect again. And I would love to speak with you again. But listen, keep your brand going. Keep spreading love, period. And doing what you can. I'm doing that on my end. You're doing that on your end. And Marywood is trying to do that on theirs. So let's keep it green today and let's do what we can. And go Pacers as always. And Shane, thank you for your time.
Go Pacers. Thank you.
Take care. So we have Shane here with us once again, and we'll be looking in just a few minutes to have some more guests coming on to the show. And I appreciate you so much. I know that with the internet and everybody being home, and that's internet provider that is in central New York that I will leave unnamed because they don't deserve to be named. So, but with that being said, thank you so much to all of the guests that have been on. Jen Carleton, the women's basketball head coach, Dexter Shy, Tim Smallwood, Lawrence Tompkins, Daron Dickerson, Kendall Farrell, Shane Letthand here with us just recently. We'll be having Carrie Brown from women's lacrosse here in a second. And then we're going to have Erik on the show. We're going to have Shirv on the show at in just a little while, around 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We'll have Zack Tinkham at 10:40. And then, you know, Enrico will bring it home at 10:50 today. I'm so excited to do this. I'm so excited to have this opportunity and to really be able to have y'all here. I appreciate you so very much for being a part of the show and for spending some time with us here to give back to a school that I love, I appreciate, that means the world to me. And we're looking to see if we can bring Carrie Brown on here in just a second. from Marywood Women's Lacrosse. But again, support all the programs, do everything you can. Marywood Men's Basketball, near and dear to my heart. So I'm doing everything that we can here too. And yeah, Letty was the first captain, which was actually mentioned by one of your teammates. So if you scroll up, Letty, you'll see that. So Letty was the first Marywood Men's Basketball captain. So shout out to you for that. And Marywood said, love you, Ken. Couldn't see you, but heard you, always love. And actually, toward the end, you could see Kendall here. So appreciate that so very much. Thank you for navigating with us, folks, through all of this, to give back to Marywood Men's Basketball, Marywood Women's Basketball, Marywood Women's Lacrosse, to every sport and, athletics in general, and to the university. Every little bit helps. But when you make your donation today, you can send it successfully. You can pick who you send it to, essentially. So when you make your donation today, if you don't follow a direct link, you can put in the note, like, this is where I want it to go. Make sure you dedicate that. If you have a special place to donate to Marywood, whatever that place is, donate. If it's men's basketball, women's lacrosse, wherever, the athletic department, Marywood University as a whole, you want to give back to your department and where you got your degree from, wherever, however, give back to Marywood today. Okay, it's important, it's essential, and it's imperative for the growth of Marywood University that we do that. So please do that where you can. And we're going to bring on Marywood Women's Lacrosse here right now with head coach Carrie Brown. We're looking to bring her in here in just a second as we get her set and ready to go. She'll be joining us. There she is. Hello, Miss Brown.
How are you? Me, so we could do this.
You can't.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. We just connected. So how are you? How's life?
Doing well. Let me just shut my door to the office so that doesn't echo all over the place.
I love the fact that you shut your door with a lacrosse stick. It means the world to me.
I mean, just being resourceful.
That's right. So talk with me. I mean, it's Giving Day. Marywood Women's Lacrosse obviously involved in this. The importance of them giving to the women's lacrosse program and to Marywood.
It's just huge. It's it gives us an opportunity to do all those like extras, right? And give these kids an opportunity to travel further or do stuff as a team, go on buses instead of vans, get a better meal so we're not eating at McDonald's. And it really helps stretch all the budgets, right? So when you're at a small private institution, right, we don't want it to all pull out of student fees and we don't want to raise the tuition. So these donations really help to offset all that greatness that we give back to the school.
And to go deeper into that, I mean, how these donations on Marywood Giving Day, just what it does for you as a coach, because at the D3 level, the resources are not the same as D1. And like you said, like going to transportation, like this money goes to essential, important pieces of everyday life for your program. So just to speak on that.
Yeah. It allows our players to get treated like Division I players, and also have that experience at the Division III world. So competition-wise, these kids are competitive. They go to practice, they put on their shoes the same as everybody else. And I think, the one thing that it shows, the March Madness is such a great time, right? Because you have these small name schools that like put themselves on the map with less resources, but they just like the kids say, we lace up our shoes 1 foot at a time. We put our pants on one leg at a time. So I think as far as that goes, like at the Division III level, our kids are still competitors and they're still investing a ton of time. So when we're able to give them experiences and we're able to do stuff as a team, as a coach, that just helps reiterate that support on the backside. The other thing too is it shows all these kids when those stream of names start coming in of like how many people care. And in a year where your stands can't be full because of obviously the COVID situation that we have going on, it shows that these kids are still loved. And so for me, it's more like, I always tell my kids, I'm like, it's not always about the dollars and cents. It's about how many names we can get up on our list. Like, and that I don't need $1 million donations, right? That's not going to change, but it's going to be the little ones that change, the little and lot that kids on Giving Day.
And for you, Kerrie, I mean, I talked with you when you came into the program, just what you tried to do, the message you tried to send, what you're trying to do with Marywood women's lacrosse, and why it is so imperative to, you know, our community, and why it's so special to you know, evolve this. So just what you saw coming in, why you came to Marywood, and how important it is for the community to really get behind your vision.
So, like, the one thing for me was I wanted to give these young women a spring break trip, an opportunity to have a team bonding event outside of Pennsylvania. That kind of, well, it gave us a team chemistry, but then it also let us compete in a different climate. So we know that northeastern PA is snowy in March. Best field conditions. So the one thing that I said my first year was, I was like, guys, if we get behind this, this can start our spring break trip. And on that spring break trip, my alumni can attest, and in the current team can attest, like, how much fun they had. And all the fun was, it wasn't like a ton of activities, but it was like being on the beach with your teammates. It was sharing a hotel room with it for an extended period of time with a bunch of girls. It was, we had like a talent show one night, but it was in a different climate. So it wasn't up at Marywood, and it just took them away. And it put them all together in a space. And so my big thing and what our Giving Day goes towards is our spring break trip. And so that I don't have to ask all the parents to cut more checks to afford that spring break trip. So that was my big vision for the girls, an opportunity to get them away together. We took a flight, which for some of them, it was the first time on a plane. And we did a week in Clearwater right before the world shut down. And they, in my 2020 class, who I adore, never got that senior day, but got spring break. And they reflect on that and how important it was. So, you know, you're not going to be able to give these kids everything in the world, and these kids have to work for some of the things that, you know, I ask a lot out of our students, out of our athletes. But at some point, if we can alleviate some of that stress directly financially, you know, from their families, I think for them, it gives them an opportunity that they wouldn't have otherwise. So it's kind of cool. It's important, and it builds for the future. And it's a great recruiting tool. Like, going to Clearwater for 8 days, like, that doesn't sound good, you know? So for me, it's like a great recruiting tool, and kids want to come on. They want to do those team activities. They want to hear what your team's doing. So that's kind of how I feel about it. You know, obviously my first year I came in, and Giving Day was our big push. The world and the economy has changed. So I am very insightful to that, and that I would like mass donations, and I would like to repeat what we did our first year. But I know what I need more now is I just need more numbers, and that eventually will catch up. And continue to support my program. So just seeing the names on the scroll today is really powerful for my kids.
You know, and I think that's beautiful, Kerrie, because you're so humble and you're appreciative. Yes, this world has changed, and what we've been through has caused us to either rise through adversity or succumb to it. And I don't believe in the second one. So I you know, seeing what, you know, you look at the game that you play on the field, right? And you can succumb to adversity. You can lay down the stick. You can say, okay, you know what? I'm done. I give up. I can't do this. There's no way that I can make it. And that is not what your team does. That is not what you do. That is not what I do in my world. That is not what so many of us have not done. And this has been a year of adversity, but it's been a year of growth. It's been a year of elevation. It's been a year of seeking equality. It's been a year of asking the right questions. It's been a year of faith being tested and coming through it. It's been a year of learning who you are. And so I think this Giving Day, more than ever, is perfectly placed, because community is what we have not had for so long, and community is what we need today, right now, for Marywood and for all of us.
Mm-hmm. So the one big push that I also did with my Giving Day this year is I said, rep your year, right? So I want to know when you graduated. And I just think that that's a fun thing, right? So it doesn't have to be a ton of money, because most people graduated, you know, in either like 1993 or into 2000. So it's not a ton of money, but it kind of gives you that example to rep your year. And so I went back to my young alumni who are just starting to make it in the world to rep their year, and just to kind of create a competition on our Giving Day of that. And as my older alumni come through, you know, if they've been more fortunate in their endeavors, rep your year that way. So it's kind of fun to start to see those numbers come through and see the different years come through, because I think for people, it's proud. It's proud when you're an alum of an institution, and to show that as in a number, you know. So that's been my big push this year.
Coming from Carrie Brown. Carrie, as always, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for everything. I look forward to talking with you soon. I love your comedy. I love the way that you attack life with that vigor, and I'm sure that the girls see it on the team. These young women see, who you are and what you're about, and I hope this community continues to see it and that they give back to you today and always.
Tune in live tonight, 6 o'clock, Newman. Home game, baby. Game day, giving day. Thanks, Dan, so much.
What'd you say?
I said thanks for your time.
Absolutely, Carrie. I'll talk with you soon.
All right, be good.
Be good. So once again, Marywood University, this is Giving Day, and this is essential for Marywood University. This is my home, okay? It's my home away from home. This, in my studio, stays up every day. Every broadcast, no matter who I'm talking to. A Hall of Fame coach, a champion in the NFL, the NBA, whatever, doesn't matter. That never goes anywhere. And that's because it's here. And that's because it matters. So giving back to Marywood, to me, if it's $5, great. If it's $10, great. If it's $1,000, great. But every little bit helps. And I put my money where I will be making a donation. And I hope that you do too. Because this university's growth and expansion, I had one of the greatest experiences of my life at Marywood University. I started my professional broadcasting career at Marywood University. I created a show that is still being carried at Marywood University that gave other kids opportunities like Joe Forgione, like Brian Johnson, like Brendan Murphy. Marywood started my career. Marywood put me in theater for the first time ever. Marywood taught me how to be a technician in theater. Marywood taught me how to be an actor. My first acting gig ever was at Marywood University. Marywood connected me to the basketball programs that connected me to Enrico Mastroianni and Jen Carleton today and everybody through history. Marywood gave me friends that I've had for 17 years. And one of my best friends at Marywood University, John Granquist, created all of the logos, all of the new logos for all of my pieces of my company. He created them with me because of his graphic design efforts and learning and growth at Marywood University. What he took from there made him who he is today. And 17 years later, we're still friends. And he is the reason why I have the apparel I have. Because without his vision and without his hard work and without his dedication and determination and attention to detail, I would not have the best logos I've ever had on the best clothes I've ever had. That is thanks to John. So Marywood University continues to inspire me. I go to weddings of people that I met at Marywood University. From Brandon to Kirsten, to Elisa, to John, to Steve, to Mark, and on and on and on and on. To my awesome teachers that I had while I was there. All of them, from aviation to communications to theater to whatever, wherever, however. Photography. My resident directors, my RAs. This experience at Marywood University was game-changing for me. That's why I've dedicated my entire show to you today. That is why I have totally changed. I mean, everything that everything we try to do with the internet, I was willing to go and put the cords together myself this morning to make this work. We were testing this past midnight last night with Enrico Mastroianni. Because I believe in my university. I love my university. I wear this proud because it means something to me. When I saw the new logo get unveiled, I said, "Ooh, that's a nice logo. I wish I had that on my stuff when I was there, but I got it now. Better late than never, right?" So giving back to Marywood today is important. Giving back to Marywood at any day is important because these kids deserve it. When you're at the D3 level, you do not get a scholarship. You do not have, 19 different sneakers given to you. That stuff doesn't happen. So it's important and imperative that you give where you can and you give today. and we got Erik here with us coming up on the broadcast. Let's pop him here and get him in. Erik, what's going on, man? How you doing?
How's it going?
Going very
Good to
well,
be
brother.
here.
So tell me about, your experience in Marywood. Tell me why this is such a special day.
This is a huge day. Just to kind of almost pay it forward for me. I was embraced by Coach Mastroianni. When being a transfer and not knowing anybody at the university and really just kind of trying to find my way, and he just brought me into the program and just gave me a sense of purpose and a sense of being at the university that I didn't have before being part of the basketball team.
And you got so much love immediately. And Erik, tell me, because I know they say Shirv, but how many people got your name wrong? How when they tried to say it? Was this a teaching nightmare?
It's been all my life, like you said. Attendance, every school year, announcers, trying to announce my name during sports. It's just been, but it's it's fun. It's a conversation starter.
Yeah. So say it to everybody the right way. You be the one that initiates today.
Okay, Shirvanian.
Yeah.
Shirvanian.
So I'm sure you've gotten Shirvanian. God only knows, but Shirvanian.
Yeah.
Was Shirv always with you? Did you just at some point say, you know what? Just like you walk by the announcer's table, just call me Shirv, man. Just do it that way.
Honestly, when I got to college, my first college is when Shirv started. I think it was just easier to say for all the coaches, and then from the coaches down the line, your teammates then start calling you Shirv, and then you're known around campus as Shirv. So I enjoy it because it's like a college thing for me. All my college buddies call me Shirv, so that's nice.
And Dex just said we've all been saying it wrong, is what he just said.
Yeah, it's true, and I don't even correct him, anymore.
So Erik, you talk about the college experience coming into Marywood. You had a unique way of coming in, like transferring and whatnot. Why did you come to Marywood? Why did that school, that team, why did it interest you?
Originally, actually, I was at Lackawanna Community College, and I didn't have eligibility left, but I was watching. They actually beat Lackawanna JUCO. It was a preseason game, and Marywood ended up getting the win. And I didn't think I was going to go there at that point, but I kind of felt like I might end up here because they got something going on here with beating a Division II JUCO as a D3 team is a pretty big deal, and you could just see they were a team, And then he talked with the coach at Lackawanna and kind of got a connection there. And I didn't even play my first year at Marywood. I didn't even want to play basketball, so that was a whole nother thing. And then I saw Coach doing the summer camp in the summer, and I was in the weight room trying to get a beach body, and I said, let me go talk to Coach. Let me, see. And him and Dexter, they just embraced me from day one, like I had never even, left that first year. So it was amazing how, being embraced like that from not even really knowing them, but just kind of giving me a chance,
And getting that chance and running with it. What can you say looking back on your Marywood experience, what that was like for you and what it meant to you?
I mean, it meant everything. It's the memories. It's the people you met. It's everything. And I still talk to all those guys, and it's just the lifelong connections is really the main thing that I got, and you think back and the bus rides and the practices at the time, they're draining. You're like, I don't really want to do this. But when I think back now, I'm like, man, I would give anything to be on a bus ride going to, Misericordia or wherever, and, after a late practice and hitting the weights and stuff, I would give anything to be back there. And it just brought so many great friends and experiences for me.
You talk about those bus rides and you talk about, getting to the games and whatnot. And that's part of Marywood Giving Day that people don't always know is the
Exactly.
transportation, the safety. What can you say about, the difference between being on like a yellow school bus versus, being on a bus that's got some comfortable seats, a bus where you can kind of relax and whatnot, that is more safe for travel, or having the ability to be in a vehicle where you could spread out, because you can't be tight going to the game. You need to stretch. You need to be good. I mean, people don't think about the fact that if you don't have the money, you're crammed into a bus. If you have the money, then you can get a bigger bus, a more spacious thing. Just where this money is going, and how it helps you guys to prepare for the game, stay loose, stay comfortable, because nobody wants to travel a couple hours to a game with their, knees up by their face and inability to really get comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a difference between, driving in 3 vans with a team manager, or, you got a bus with a bathroom on it. And I think that altogether it's just, giving will take a level of stress away from coach, where he can focus on basketball, totally, instead of, how we get into the game, what's our meals. I think part of the giving will allow coach to just focus on, the basketball aspect and getting us that championship for Marywood.
And for you, Enrico, I mean, from the moment he stepped in, I mean, I met him very early on, to him walking in, and I told him kind of what I did with courtside, and I learned about him, and then we just clicked. And he's one of my closest friends. I mean, I consider him a brother. He's family. What can you say about him leading this program? And when you give back to Marywood today, and you give back to that man and that leader and that team, just what that's doing, because I think that it can't go understated. And I know he's very humble, but Enrico Mastroianni has totally changed the way that people should be looking at Marywood men's basketball.
Yeah, he's really changed the program. You could see from the growth from just our record, so to speak. It's been progressing every year, and this will just allow him to keep the growth going, and like a couple of the other people who are all great, by the way. All your guests have been phenomenal, but they brought up the recruiting too. This is a recruiting tool. We show up in vans as opposed to a bus. The guy might be like, I don't know, this will push the program forward, and Enrico is already bringing the program forward, but this will just be that extra push. And I see in the comments, alumni game, definitely need an alumni game next year for sure, 100%.
And that's the thing. This year has been so interesting, Shirv. We've gone through so much as a society. So, how much more important is today's Giving Day and alumni games, and having that community again, because giving today allows the community to come together. Alumni games allows the community to come together. How much are you just hoping that people give today? And then secondly, that you have alumni games where, we can take the masks off, shake hands, and be around each other.
I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. I've been praying for an alumni game since I stopped playing, just to see the guys, and I'm, I know it's, things are tight right now, but just giving back a little bit, just everything helps, and I think not only will it make you feel better, but you'll be able to see the product from Enrico, because he does it all, and he pushes this program, and you'll be able to see that the money's going to a good place. It's not just going to wherever, but
and that's the thing too. I mean, meals, team meals, transportation, all of that is important. If you have the money from the alumni, from the community, from anonymous donors, you can actually live a normal basketball life. At the D1 level and different things just coming through, sometimes maybe it's not appreciated because it's there. But at this Division III level, you guys work just as hard. You do just as much. You have to watch film. You have to get in the weight room. You have to run. You have to practice. You have to be a team. You got to play in games. You got to go to class. You got to get good grades. There's no difference of a student athlete from D1 to D3 when it comes to commitment and hard work and everything you put in. but the difference lies in days like today at the Division III level are imperative for people to make sure that everything that's already on your shoulders as a student athlete doesn't become any heavier.
Yep. So you could just focus on, school and basketball, man. That's the goal.
So for you, favorite memory, favorite moment, favorite time that you have? I mean, your energy, I can feel it over the phone, is very positive, Shirv. Like, I feel like if I hung out with you today, we'd have a good day. So,
That's a given. That's a given.
So tell me about memories in Marywood, fondest ones.
So there's so many. It's like and like I brought up before, even just the bus rides and the practices, game days. But my favorite memories were after big wins, just hanging out with the guys. And one in particular is that Keystone game where we came back in the second half from, I don't know, maybe down 30. You probably remember the game, but that was just an experience, and just to be with the guys after a game like that, and the sense of team and camaraderie was just, I still think about. I didn't even play that game because I wasn't eligible, but I still think back to that day, and it was just, just beautiful. So.
Yeah, and you can give back in so many ways. We'll put up all the links and everything so that everybody knows. But today, dedicated to Marywood, and with all due respect, always in my heart, every day, somewhere, some way is dedicated to Marywood too. For you, Shirv, just in closing here, what should the community know about Marywood men's basketball? What should they know about Marywood University? Why is this university so special? With universities and colleges all over the country, why is this one such a beautiful one? Why is this program so good?
This program gives back too. It's not, they're obviously asking for donations right now, but they give back to the community a lot. And we do, the reading for the school kids and all types of helping at the marathons, and the list goes on. I wish I had the list in front of me, but this team gives back too. They're a part of this grand community. It's not, they're not hiding. They're in the community. They're out and about. They're doing things, and that's important. And I think Enrico has done an amazing job with that, as being part of this grand community.
That coming from our guy Shirv here, Shirvanian, correct?
Yeah, correct. Got it. Now
there we go. So Erik Shirvanian. If one broadcaster is going to say it right, let it be me. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
But I appreciate you, Sheriff, and I'm happy that I got you on here. But hopefully, you and I can do some more stuff outside of this
100%.
And keep in touch. But thank you for everything. Appreciate it. And from one goatee to another facial hair, shout out to you, man. Thanks for keeping that party going.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Give often and early.
What'd you say? Oh, and so we got a little message there from Sheriff. We got Zack Tinkham coming on in just a minute. And so, Zack, if you're on, you can enter. And then Enrico Mastroianni is going to bring it home. I can't believe, 2 hours went like that. So we got Tinkham here. So let's bring him in. So we get him onto the live feed with us here on Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. Looking at, there he is. That smirk, man. Tinkham, you always have this same smirk. You always look like you just pulled off the greatest prank in history. How are you doing?
I'm just here. I'm doing well.
But I've asked you before where it comes from, but they say some people have, resting you-know-what face. You got the resting smirk face. You always look like you're up to something. Have you had that forever?
I guess so. I haven't really noticed it, but kind of just do me, living the dream out here down in Georgia and having a good time thinking about Marywood, talking about the Marywood people.
So tell me about what you're doing now down in Georgia and what's going on.
So I'm a volunteer assistant basketball coach at Augusta University. So we're a Division II school right on the Georgia-South Carolina border, and home of the Masters. It's pretty much what we're known for.
Yeah, which is incredible. And it's you paying it forward. You played at Marywood and now you're coaching. What did Marywood do to build that love for basketball and to make you want to go out and coach?
I think the big thing is what I saw it could do for people. So whether you played 0 minutes or whether you played 40 minutes, I think I saw people that went into the program and they just developed more better life habits or grown as a person. And just the fact, like me personally being down in Georgia, I still stay connected with all the people up in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, wherever they are. So I think learning all those disciplines and just sticking with it with everyone, it builds great relationships to help other people as well.
So for you, you know, in that leadership and being with this Marywood men's basketball program, what did Enrico and the staff teach you specifically that you try to carry today in your life? Because it's important to show how, you know, we're looking to give back to Marywood today, but Marywood also pays it forward. And I know that Enrico and the staff, you know, try to do that with everybody that comes through. And how did they pay it forward to you?
I think the biggest thing that I could say that like I learned was that it's not about you individually. There's always something bigger as a whole. Whether it's on the team, it's not about your stats, it's what you team and how you're able to contribute the team. And I think that really leads to life, because no matter what you do, there's always a team that you're part of. So the biggest thing it led to me in the coaching is you can never be someone looking for credit. Because when you're looking for credit to individual things, you just want to be able to help people as a goal. So as he told, Enrico always played to me when I said I want to get into coaching, is when you're an assistant coach, you can't be doing it for credit, because you might be doing things and you're never going to get the credit for it. And you have to be okay with that, because when you see the accomplishment as a team, that's the credit you need for yourself. You know you're a part of that and you helped people get to where they need to be.
Is there a hope someday of you being the head coach of your own program? Is that the goal?
That would always be cool. I always said, I talked to Enrico when I officially knew I was coming to Georgia, and I told him directly, I said, I never know where life's going to take me. I would never say that I'm never going to be back in Scranton. That there's always a time that you never know what's going to come ahead. I would love to come back to Scranton. I had great memories of Scranton. It was tough to leave, because you have great 4 years, then you have to leave and move somewhere where you don't know anyone. So it's definitely a tough thing, but I believe that's always a possibility, and it's always cool to coach from where you grew up as a person yourself. So that would definitely be a very cool thing.
You know, and giving back today, you know, we've all been through so much this year, but every little bit helps, Zach. Why should people give to Marywood today? Why should they give to the Marywood men's basketball program?
Because we're about people and togetherness. Like, it's a family atmosphere. You want to develop, and we have relationships that are from many states across the country or the world. Like, give just a little bit. I'm not saying you have to give tons, but every little bit helps. If you're able to give a little bit, that little bit adds for a lot of people. People sacrifice their time there, just like Division II and Division I athletes, and they're giving it them all, and they're getting a great education while they're at it. So people really appreciate just that little bit, because that might make a bus ride instead of a van ride. That might mean a sit-down dinner instead of a grab-and-go dinner. Like, every little bit really helps, and it just helps create a good environment.
You're speaking here with Zack Tinkham on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. This is Marywood Giving Day, and I've dedicated my entire show today to Marywood University, and throughout the day we'll be dedicating to this. Zach, so many people have come through it. Marywood moved me. It has moved you. It's moved so many people. We have messages on here. I'm sorry that I haven't gotten to them all, but I've tried to wave to everybody, connect with everybody that's come on here. The support has been insane from the second we went live today. What did Marywood do for you, even outside of basketball? Why is Marywood so special, and why is giving back to Marywood, in a way, giving back to all of us still? Because, you know, we want to be able to go back and see this school excel for years and years and decades to come. So why is Marywood so special, and what are those memories of Marywood for you?
Well, really, Marywood taught me how to live on my own. It was the first time I moved away from home. It was 3 hours away from me. So how to take care of myself in that way. I didn't have mom or dad right there for me to do anything I needed. So it was my way to get away and be able to learn and grow through mistakes, because no one goes through college without making any mistakes. There's always mistakes that happen, but that responsibility. And just all the memories with people, whether it was in the dorm rooms, hanging out, or at each other's houses, or my junior year when we went to Toronto, we took a cool team trip to Toronto. That was really cool. Like, we have those life experiences that just stick with one another. And like, I had my roommates, like Thomas, my roommate for 4 years, still in touch all the time. Sika, 2 years. Everyone that graduated before me, everyone that's still in school now, like just relationships with a bunch of people. And I just will always say that, to me, relationships are the most important part of life, because you want to be able to give to other people and make other people's lives better as they make yours better too.
You know, it's incredible, Zach, to talk with you and to hear just how, as a young man in society, as a young person in society, your knowledge, your wisdom, your morals, your values, your desire, and your understanding of what other people did for you. Like, this is such a testament to, when you talk about building relationships and people rubbing off on you in a positive way. Like, that is Marywood. You know, if not for Marywood, then, you know, 17 years later, 18 years later, for me, some of this stuff doesn't happen. You don't have those experiences, you know, learning how to live away from home and do it the way that you did, and have the coaches you had and the connections you had and the experience you had. So, you know, Marywood has credit in your life, has credit in mine. And I think that's the best testament to it, with almost 20 donors that we have so far right now. And let's keep it on rocking and keep it going. There's something to be said about, without Marywood, life would be different for the both of us.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. It's amazing how, like, a school like that size, like, I never heard of Marywood until my senior year of high school. And then once I learned about it, I jumped on it from there, and it really can make a difference in one's life. I'm happy I chose to go there. I say it's the best decision I made for myself, because I wouldn't be here where I am right here at this moment if it wasn't for Marywood going there.
And for you, Zach, I mean, you know, as a player, you talked about it, and guys who talked about it all throughout. We've heard from Carrie Brown and Jen Carlton as well, that, you know, this money goes to food. It goes to the difference between 3 vans or a bus. It goes between a comfortable dinner or a grab and go type of dinner. There's so much to be said, because so much is asked of a student athlete, and people don't see anything other than you on the court or on the field at that time, and that they want you to win. But they don't see everything you go through. And the easier that life is made for you, where everything is already difficult, being a student and an athlete, the more that the community can do for you, the more you can focus on going to school and playing the game that you love, and not having to do 19 other things. So I think days like today with Marywood Giving Day, I know days like today with Marywood Giving Day, is really to educate and tell people, like, hey, you know, do you want to have a normal meal, or do you want to be running? Do you want to be able to sit with your whole team and the coach be able to talk to everybody on the way? Or do you want to take 3 vans where the coach can't be around everyone at the same time? Safety, food, you know, sleep, everything goes into this, you know, with the travel and the jerseys, the way that you guys look, the comfortability that you have. All of these things help the game. And I think people need to know that.
That is very true. I agree with that. And especially now that I'm on the coaching side of it, I see even more how much of that goes into it. Like you said, uniforms, like how many years do you have to wait to get new uniforms, like, or warm-up jerseys, or shoes, how many pairs of shoes can you get, or team apparel outside of that. All those little things really add up, and that's why each donation really makes a big difference.
So that coming from Zack Tinkham here, and we got a message that came in. Do we have a count on how many charges you took in your career?
I don't know, Bruner. You should tell me.
So, you know what? That is a thankless job too, but I'll tell you, you know, from playing basketball growing up myself, taking a charge, not a lot of people are willing to do it. So if you took but one of them, Tinkham, you did one more than a lot of people in the world, I'll tell you that. So shout out to you for that, and much appreciation. I'm happy I got to meet you and be around the program and spend time with you in your time at Marywood. And I'm always looking forward to connecting with you. And I hope that you and I get to talk very soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. Take care. Have a good day. And my best to you down in Georgia.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one.
Thank you. That coming here from Zack Tinkham as we get ready for Enrico Mastroianni to join us here in just a second. And great messages coming through. Oh, my goodness. I'm trying to... There's like, they flooded in today. So I want to shout out everybody that has been on that I can hear. Jim McAndrews, the biggest, Blue Jays women's basketball, Mooch, as well as Taroni, and, you know, the players that joined us, Musella Mike, thank you for that. Art Coy, as well as Marie that was on here with us. Mooch said, passion, leadership, respect, some of the qualities that come to mind for Coach Carleton. Good luck. Germ was on here as well. Best you ever had. Thank you. Who else do we have here? Jay Grossi, Corey, Larissa, Mets for life, Penny, Gabby Holko, who was with Marywood University in the past. My shout out to you. New York Ballers, Mr. Alston, as well as TJ Fergs. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody here as we get Enrico on here in a second. Dormir, Mand, Mira, ZMSS here, Aaron, Hodge. I mentioned Hodge before. I said Aaron here. A lot of great messages. SME, Janie, IT, ABJ, AL Lloyd, DS Quattro, SG10, just on and on. I mean, I'm looking through all this. This is crazy. The amount of messages that I have is insane on here. So, and Zack Tinkham, the all-time stats leader, yes, in charges and averaged 2 a game and has the injuries to prove it. So Zack Tinkham, the all-time stats leader. And to bring it on home, we're going to look to have Enrico join us here. So Enrico, if you are, I'm sure you are listening all throughout here, just click to join and we'll bring you on. I don't know if he's going to join us as Enrico or how he's going to come in here because I know he has. Let's see if we can get his thing set up here. So we'll ask him here if he would like to join this way, and we'll bring Enrico into the show. But yeah, Marywood University Giving Day is today. We have navigated through this day, and I want to thank everyone. If your internet was a little bit whatever, if I was choppy or somebody else was choppy, my apologies. We try to do everything we can this morning, and everything we tested was working out great. So if in the playback of this, some people are choppy, please stay with it, listen to it. Everybody's messages were important. So no matter how they came through, every single message was important. Every single message was vital. Every single guest I've had on today, Jen Carleton, Dexter Shy, Tim Smallwood, Lawrence Tompkins, Daron Dickerson, Kendall Farrell, Carrie Brown, Erik Shirvanian, and I said it right. It's not Shirvanian. So Erik Shirv, Zack Tinkham, and Enrico Mastroianni is coming up here in just a second. So much good here, and very much appreciate it. So I'm going to see if we can bring on Enrico here to finish up. But I do want to let you all know that you can get the links. I'm going to be putting them on. This video is actually going to go straight to my feed. So this video will be available below on my feed. So you're all watching live right now on Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. The video will be entered in to my timeline itself, and we're going to try and put it in some other places as well, so we can use this as our recruiting tool for Marywood Giving Day all throughout the day. Enrico is here, so we're going to try and bring Enrico on. We'll see if we can't do that here to round out today's broadcast, but so very happy and appreciative of everybody. There's the man. So hello, Mr. Enrico. How we doing?
Hey, Dan. Can you hear me all right? I
can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
It's a little faint. I don't know if I did something wrong on my end. Let me see.
You probably turned down your volume.
I have it all the way up. No, I don't know.
All right.
That's all right.
I can hear you. You can hear me. And as my mother told me, as a card-carrying, proud Italian, among other things, I don't have an inside voice. So,
I don't.
Yeah. So Enrico, I mean, this 2 hours has flown by. You know, Jen Carleton to, I want to thank Jen. I want to thank Carrie Brown. And from Marywood men's basketball history, you got to see and hear from Dexter Shy, Tim Smallwood, Lawrence Tompkins, Daron Dickerson, Kendall Farrell, Shane Letthand, Erik Shirvanian, Zack Tinkham. What has it meant to you that today has just been filled with Marywood love and so many Marywood men's basketball alumni?
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible the amount of support, love, and respect that those guys have for their experience here with us, and just the fact that they still care so much about our program that they're willing to take time out of their lives, out of their work life today, their personal life today to just give us 10 minutes of their time and talk about what their experience was like. It was just an incredible experience for us. And I'm so grateful to you, Dan, for doing this, putting this together. I know we were talking about doing this for a couple weeks now, but really just the outpouring of love and support from those guys that, it wasn't always easy being in this program, and it wasn't always easy playing for me. I know that too. But, they did find some kind of a value during their time here that they cared enough to come back and speak to that and let the world know it, which it means so much to me. I can't even put it into words.
And it's so cool. I mean, to hear from everybody we got to hear from today and to hear their stories and then to see them supporting each other, to see Dex stay on and say something, LT saying something, Shane bringing back out, Tinkham, it's that to me, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, and the sisterhood of sports, what that creates is, I mean, you as a coach, I would imagine of all the things you take today from what we're trying to do here on this broadcast, that probably the proudest moment is that these alumni genuinely love each other, whether or not they played together.
Yeah, the guys, like they said, so many of them said that they built a bond that's everlasting. I mean, they got involved, with each other through basketball, but now they're involved with each other in their personal lives and their family life, and they'll always be family to each other. And I think, I don't remember who it was. I think Kendall was talking earlier about adversity and how, throughout our program, throughout your time in our program, you probably experienced some type of adversity, and it was our job as coaches, my job particularly, to help you navigate through that, to teach you that life is not always going to be easy. There's going to be struggles and challenges along the way. And one of the things we always said to the guys, if it was easy, everybody would do it. It isn't easy. This is hard. It's hard stuff. You heard some of the veteran guys, Lawrence and Tim and Daron talking about how, it's year round. Basketball is year round, and they were full-time basketball while they also had to be full-time students. And, those things are challenging enough. In there with, God forbid, somebody experienced some loss in their life while they were part of our program. We were there to hold each other up and help each other and just be part of that close-knit family that we want to be.
So, for you, having that close-knit family, you've heard the guys talk about recruiting. You've heard, how giving back today will help in recruiting, will help in getting the best players and putting the best foot forward for Marywood in what we look like and how we carry ourselves, what we get to do, so that, the food, the transportation, from the coach's point of view, so much of it falls on your shoulders. And as some guys have said, hey, if coach didn't have money, then, he's reaching out to his own. He's trying to do what he can because, he wants us to have a life. He wants us to have a trip. He wants us to be able to eat a meal together. Just speak with me about how Marywood Giving Day helps to alleviate some of the stress on you so that you can coach, and on them so that they can play.
I think Erik Shirvanian, thanks, Shir, for making me say that wrong for so many years. I always said Shirvanian, so I'll have to call him out when I get off this call. But, he brought a good point up that, Giving Day and all these fundraising events that we do, it really helps allow us as coaches to focus on what we need to do as coaches, right? To focus on the guys and coaching the guys, coaching basketball. I'm not ashamed of it. It's what I have to do. And for those of you that are bothered by it, I apologize. But today, I'm putting so many messages out today, trying to alert everybody about what we're doing here. And it's not for me. I think that's what gets misconstrued. I told our team last night, we had a meeting before practice last night regarding Giving Day. And I said, look, I'm not doing this for me. None of this money comes to the staff. It's going to the program. It's for you guys. It's for the players. It's for the student athletes. It's for posterity. It's for the future. It's about trying to make sure that we have a following that will continue to sustain success within this program and help our guys achieve and accomplish things that they never knew that they could until they became part of this program. So Giving Day for me and what these guys have all said, they've all echoed the same message and sentiment, which is, help us help these athletes have a greater experience. Yeah, the team meals, that's important to me. I don't like going to fast food places. The guys beg sometimes for like a Chick-fil-A, and that sometimes we'll give them a little bit of a bonus and treat them to that. But I'm trying to find a sit down meal. I think, I said about it earlier, like chicken parm dinners. We like that before game, 3 hours ahead of time. We'll get a nice dinner, pasta, meat, salad, and get that nourishment and protein in so that they're ready to perform. So, but we can't always afford to do that. And these giving day opportunities, fundraising moments help us do that. The travel, team travel, same thing. We want to travel in style, yeah, but comfort is the most important thing. And I think, Dan, you mentioned safety. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're safe and secure. And what good does it do us if we have to take a 2-hour long bus ride and the guys can't stretch their legs out and they're uncomfortable on a trip, right? Now, all of a sudden, we got to start the process of getting ready for a game all over again. So there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and you've also heard the guys talk about at the Division III level how they're doing the same work. You're coaching, they're playing, they're working. You guys are doing what D1 and D2 is doing, but you don't have this endless pool of resources. So days like Giving Day are imperative to allow these players to play. Like I said, allow a coach like yourself to coach, like Kerrie, like Jen, to coach, to just focus on that, because you can be a rah-rah guy and you can go out there and you can promote and you can fundraise and whatnot, but that should be few and far between. Your focus should be on coaching, because that is where your craft is, and finding out how to, a week before a game, you're planning out how to beat this team in the playoffs. Well, that's what you need to focus on. Not like, do we have the right jerseys? Do we get the right stuff in? Do we have a bus? Do we have 3 vans? Like, you need to be focusing on that. And people don't know at the D1, even at the D1 level, at different parts of the D1 level, there's sometimes a director of basketball operations. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes somebody's got to do 3 jobs. Well, if you're at the D3 level, you're the DBO, you're the head coach, you're everything. And the more that we can give back to Marywood University, the more you can be what you were hired to be, which is a coach.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned all those things, and that's all true, and I am doing a lot of the work, but I would never neglect to recognize and acknowledge our staff. I mean, our staff is phenomenal. Currently, the staff is Coach Bruner, Zach Bruner, who's been with me now going into his 3rd year, and Coach Jim McAndrew is going into his 2nd year with us now, and Coach Joe Piccarello, who has been a volunteer coach because he started out as a student, continued on that path. Now he's in a professional life, and sometimes can't find the time to commit to the other things that go into coaching. But as far as like being entrenched in this program, and he's been with us from the start, and he's been phenomenal. And I know Dex mentioned Coach Stefalo earlier on. Chris has been not only a rock to me, but like a right-hand man and a dear friend. And, his support throughout the start of this, him and Joe Piccarello again came in together with me, and it was not easy. And I think Letty alluded to that. The first couple of years were not easy, but we navigated through it. We got to where we wanted to go and found success, and it wouldn't have happened without their help. Coach Ryan Crouch and Coach Armale, Jamie Armale. I mean, there are so many guys that have contributed to this program. Even Coach Dex, I'll give him a little props. Dex was a student assistant coach for us for a little while, and we just, those guys are invaluable to me. They've helped so much.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I said that during the show, how humble you are. You have given a different feel to Marywood basketball. I can say that because from the moment that you walked in, I wanted to work with you. I wanted to know you because I care about the program. But the reason why I'm connected to you and I consider you a brother now, it went well beyond that. It was like, I'm going to support any coach that's here because I want to see them win and succeed and do well. But I support you because of the person you are, the morality you have, the faith that you have, the community drivenness that you have. You are such a, and I know you won't give this to yourself, but you're such an incredible human being, because every loss you feel, every win you feel like we could do better, we can improve. You're always climbing the mountain, and I want so badly for you to stand on top of it. So $1 today, $10 today, $100, $1,000, whatever it is, it's not giving to a program and that's it, or it's not giving. It's not this simple like, here's a check and have a good day, or here's my credit card information. To me, you're supporting a coach that will literally at 3:00 in the morning be studying film, going through stuff, being in the basement, staying with it, going, trying to figure out how and why. and you care about it. I don't know how you care about everyone, work on everything, coach, put out fires, deal with, scouting and going through that, recruiting, and at the same time, a father of three, and you try to be a good husband, you try to be a good dad, you try to be a good son. You do so much that, and you're so humble about it, and that makes it even better, that I want to say thank you to you, because Marywood Giving Day isn't Marywood Giving Day without people like Enrico Mastroianni. You're one of those people that anywhere you go, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever logo's on your chest, you're somebody that people can trust, and you're somebody that people get behind. And Marywood is lucky; they're blessed to have you, and I know that, and I've known that
Thank you.
All these years.
Thank you, Dan. That means so much, and it is a passion for me. I mean, coaching is obviously a passion. Mentoring these young men, trying to help them grow and become, heroes in their own lives. And I try to do that, for my kids. And the only way to do that is to set the example. And I try to do that for our players. I try to do that for our program, and I hope that resonates within the group. That the guys, I think, I don't know if it was Dex or one of the guys said about, trying to provide opportunities and experiences for the guys so that we can enculturate them. I do bring them around my family because I think that's important for them to see what that's like and see how the other side lives. There is a human element to this. It's not just about wins and losses. We celebrate the wins because the wins are hard to come by, and we love when we win. We hate when we lose, and we talk about that too. And we do lament them. And I obviously do more than most. It stays with me, and I go back and forth and question, did we do this right? Did we do that right? Was this substitution pattern right? Should we have, done this at that time out? I mean, there's all kinds of things you can question, but, ultimately you have to believe in what you're doing, and you have to stand behind it. And that goes for anything in life. For me, it's this program, it's this team. It's about, having these guys win every day, not just on the court, but in the community, in the classroom, with fundraising, whatever it might be. We're going to get behind it.
And Enrico, to just bring it all together today and in this wake-up call special from the Cafe Kubal Studios. Obviously, you're here with Dan Tortora and so many guests that we've had on Marywood Giving Day, in this Marywood Giving Day special, wall-to-wall, dedicated solely to Marywood today. How can they donate? Give them the information one more time.
So you can do a few things. You can text Marywood 25, all caps, Marywood 25 to 71777. And you can go through that process if you want to just text in information and go back and forth with an agent there. You can go to our web page for our Giving Day page, which is www.marywood.edu/give MBB. Okay, again, that's marywood.edu/give MBB, and that'll take you right to our giving page. You can call. The number escapes me right now, Dan. I know I sent it out earlier, but there's a number to call. You can find it on the Giving Day page for Marywood University, and you can call in and request to donate to men's basketball. You have to make sure that you request that. We want to make sure that your funds are going to the right place. That we want to make sure our guys are the benefactors of that. So there are multiple ways to do it to help us, but any support, like you said, Dan, any amount, whatever it is going to be very, very helpful and beneficial to us. We're at 18 donors right now. I'd love to see that get to 50 by the end of the day. I think if we can do that, if we can get that number up, like I said, $5 donations, $10 donations, it doesn't have to be significant. We love those ones that are significant amounts, but we love the fact that you were thinking of us. And if you were thinking of us enough to just put in a $5 donation, then that goes a long way, because we know that that's what you could afford to do, but we mattered enough to you to try to help us in that way.
Yeah, and every little bit helps, I mean, you think about a symbol like this. If you go to a fast food place right now and you're going to spend $5-10, you know what? Make a peanut butter sandwich at home, send the 5 or 10 to Marywood today. It takes nothing to give, just a couple dollars. Give where you can, and, you can do it anonymously. You can do it with your name on it, but every little bit helps into Marywood men's basketball, women's basketball, women's lacrosse, all the sports, Marywood University in and of itself. I just appreciate everything that Marywood has meant to me, everything that it's done. And Enrico, thank you. Thank you. Today doesn't happen without you. Today doesn't happen without you for so many reasons. Your passion, your desire, everything you've done since you came in, making sure that there's that tip-off dinner that I look forward to having very soon again, to, Giving Day and what you've done with this, to helping me with everything, Dexter Shy, Tim Smallwood, Lawrence Tompkins, Daron Dickerson, Kendall Farrell, Shane Letthand, as well as Erik Shirvanian, Zack Tinkham. You made that possible. So, in the background, Enrico, yes, I'm doing everything I can to support you, but I don't get to where I am today without the help of a community. And you are someone from the day that I met you that I value in my inner circle. So thank you to you. And to anybody watching and listening, it is imperative to give back to coaches like this man, because there are good men and good women at Marywood University that are doing everything that they can so diligently. The Jen Carltons, the Carrie Browns, the Enrico Mastroiannis that are doing everything that they can to help these kids, to do right by these kids. And they have such a thankless job because they don't have the contracts of D1 coaches. They don't have the resources of D1 coaches. They do so much. And this is truly, you want to know what the love of the game looks like? Look to Division III. You got to love this game through and through to be a coach at the D3 level. And Enrico, you deserve all the accolades, all the credit. And Marywood University, do the right thing. People that love you, do the right thing. If I have fans and listeners that have no idea about Marywood, but you just know that I love it, give $5. Do it for me. Do it for me. Just show that love for me. So, yeah, I can't say thank you enough, because people like you truly love the game and you truly love what you're doing. And that inspires me every day.
Dan, we love you and appreciate you more than you know, man. And the fact that you keep trying to help us in so many ways from afar. And I know if you could be here every day, you would be. And I wish you could be. But, just having your support and that message out there is so crucial and vital to our success. And I think that's the approach that we're looking for, that our alumni will take on that same mantra that Marywood did so much for them. Let's pay it forward. Let's give it back. And, this has been an awesome experience for me. I'm a newbie to Instagram Live. I warned you I wasn't going to be technically sound in this, but we pulled it off, and I can hear you now great. I put the headphones in, so we're all good. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Enrico, and my best to you and to everybody. Make sure you donate to Marywood University today. Get back to the men's basketball program and get back to Marywood University and the Pacers. Enrico, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. My pleasure. Thanks, everyone.
So,
Go Pacers.
That coming from Enrico. And my final note here is just to tell you all to continue to donate, to continue to give back, to do whatever you can today. My hope is that I'll be able to share this video to you in other places, but you'll always have it here on Instagram and at wakeupcall_DT. So give back. Thank you to my guests, Jen Carlton of the women's basketball program. Thank you to Marywood men's basketball alumni, Dexter Shy, Tim Smallwood, Lawrence Tompkins, Daron Dickerson, Kendall Farrell, Shane Letthand, as well as Erik Shirvanian, Zack Tinkham, and head coach Erik Mastroianni. I said Erik, Enrico Mastroianni. I looked at it very quick. It's the only time I've ever called you Erik, but Enrico Mastroianni, the current head coach of the team, and of course, women's lacrosse head coach Carrie Brown. To all the coaches at Marywood University, to all of the players, if you have a message and you want to say something, I'll put you on during the day today, okay? So no message no message is too many for Marywood University Giving Day, and I'll do everything I can. Thank you, Enrico, who said this was awesome. Thanks so much. Thank you to all the guys. Thank you, Dex. Appreciate having you. To everybody, to all my guests, Jen, Dex, Tim, LT, Daron, Kendall, Shane, Carrie, Shirv, Zach, and Enrico. Thank you so much for making this an amazing, amazing broadcast, a wake-up call with Dan Stora from the Cafe Kubal Studios. Here, happy to be here live with you. And as always, I want to thank all my partners, Carvel DeWitt's, as well as Cafe Kubal, Wildcat Sports Pub, Canine Camp, Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Avicoli's, Honda City of Liverpool, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Millhouse Market, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Get your popcorn ready by going to maandpazpopcorn.com. From Scranton, from anywhere in the country, as well as right here in our community. For in-store pickup and delivery, maandpazpopcorn.com. Use my promo code DT20. You'll get 20% off. So do that. Give back to Marywood today. You can text Marywood 25 to 71777. That's Marywood 25, all in caps. Marywood 25 to 71777. And you can go to marywood.edu to find out how you can give back directly to different programs, including marywood.edu/give MBB for men's basketball. And you can call Marywood University's number. It's all on marywood.edu. I'll be sharing it on all my social media at Wake Up Call DT on Facebook, at Call DT on Twitter, at Wake Up Call _DT, where you are right now on Instagram. And we'll do everything that we can to continue to give back to the alma mater that I love. As always, folks, I will see you on Facebook, YouTube, MixLR, wakeupcalldt.com. And of course, we'll be back to our normal ways, and we'll be at Cafe Kubal tomorrow morning with Gene Waldron to talk about Syracuse basketball from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. I appreciate y'all. I send you all my love, and just do whatever you can today to give back. Okay. This is such a big piece of my heart. That's why I wear it there. So I love you, Marywood. I love the coaches. I love the players. I love the alumni. I love the future of Marywood, the past of Marywood, the present of Marywood. We are one family. We are one community. We are one team. And the day to give back is right now. $1, $10, $1,000, whatever you can do something, right? Do something. There's enough people in this world trying to make it a bad place. Let's make it a good place. Let's give back to the kids. Let's give back to these programs. Let's do what we can to give to a place that gave so much to me. Let's give back to them. I hope that you have incredible stories from Marywood. I have incredible friendships that will last forever and I have a career that started there, and now I own my own business. I have so much from Marywood University, the adversity, all my experience, and everything I went through. It would have never been possible if God didn't lead me to Marywood. So shout out to Marywood University. It's Giving Day 2021. Give back, do what you can, and I'll talk with you all soon. God, your best. This is Wake Up Call from the Cafe Kubal Studios. And remember, you are amazing, you are worth it, and you can change this world for